Okay, so as you can see, if you look underneath that that rocker arm there, well, you know what? For some of you guys that are not really sure, let me show you what it actually looks like from the top. And let's see. So back in right there at the end of my finger, there's a little divot that the push rod sets in, and when that pushes on it, this is the fulcrum point that takes and pushes down on either one of these valves. There's not a lot of pressure on them, so like you can actually take and push them with your fingers to make them go down. See? And then if I can show you like right in the back, hold on, sorry, take you off the tripod. Right, that thing right in the middle of the screen, in the end of my finger, that's the push rod. That's the thing that actually takes in, makes the up and down. Right there. So you're gonna make sure that those bad boys are in place. Sometimes they will jump out and they'll get jammed over here on the side and they'll hold that valve open. You'll have zero compression because the valve is open all the time and you think that the engine is blown, and it's not. It's because these got so far out of adjustment that the push rod actually just jumped out of its little spot. So something to keep in mind. All right, so there's that. Anyways, here, underneath that rocker, it's cupped like this. So it stays located over the valve stem. And so in order to get that measurement, you have to go in between, like these two sides where my fingers are. You have to go in between those two sides. I use 5/1000ths for my setting. It's never failed me. Hold on. I'm trying to get my feeler gauges with one hand. So here's 5/1000ths. You can go to Stihl if you want, and you can buy the special tool. That it's a feeler gauge that just has the divot or whatever that goes in there. I just take and cut it at a point so that I can slide in between those 2 points. See, there's zero resistance there at 5,000. This one we already got. See that? You need to feel a little resistance. So I'm gonna set you back up, and then that nut right there is like an 8mm, or I can use a 5/16 on it. Makes it real easy. All right, so we'll get set back up on here, and we'll do it together. It's not hard. It's not difficult. And the one thing that they want you to do is, like, once you set them, is you got to rotate the engine over a couple times and then check it again. So we'll make sure where we are. We are on, there's zero movement on either one. If in the book, they'll probably tell you, oh, you got to line it up on this way or whatever. Me, I just want that one. I want this one to be all the way down. I'll zoom you in. So if I want to adjust the one on the left, see how the one on the right is already down? Now I'm going to take and I'm going to slide this feeler gauge in here. You can see how much wiggle room there is, right? And you just take it righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I'm going to the right. Oh, too much already. Okay, I got just a squidge of resistance on it. Turn it again. See what I'm doing here? I'm just checking it each time, guys. Whoops, sorry. I'm just checking it each time that I make an adjustment. You got the wrench on top. Turn it just a hair. There, that's perfect. Well, yeah, I don't have a problem with that one. All right, so I'm going to turn it over. There's one. There's two. Go down. Waiting for this one to go down now. That's down. And I'm going to go back and check. It's got a little bit of drag on it. That's perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to go and I'm going to bring the other one. There's the intake. That's intake because this one here is, that's where the carburetor goes. So that's the intake valve. You with me? Now we're going to go over, make sure that it's down. And now we're going to go and check this one over here. Again, I'm just going to slide my feeler gauge in there. Get up here. Crank it a little bit. Nothing. 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 Okay, that's picking up just a squidge of resistance. And that's all you want, because you know what, if you make it too tight, when you can take it out, it'll actually take and depress that spring like you saw me. I was pushing down on that with my finger, so it doesn't take a lot. I could use just a hair more. And I literally mean just a hair. Another half a hair. So by setting this, what you guys are doing by doing these valves and setting them, it's making the timing of when it's supposed to breathe and when it's supposed to exhaust. So you're not delaying it. It won't. One of the big things is when they get too far out of whack, it'll buck. Because it has too much compression. Whoops. You're going to check it. We spun it around a couple times, coming back, double check. Yeah, that's good right there. Okay, so these are done. If you got any questions on this one, just go ahead and put them down in the comments there, and maybe I'll do a separate one on this. But it seems pretty straightforward to me. But I've noticed in all my years of teaching people how to do stuff, if you say it's simple, you've already put them on the offensive, because if you don't get it, then you don't want to ask the question, because you feel well, it's supposed to be really easy. Well, that's just me. Got a question, put it down there. I don't care what it is. There's no such thing as a silly question, honestly. Okay, so I'm going to put the cover back on. I just don't want to keep running this video too long for you guys. See how there's the pattern. That's how it goes. The cork seal is still in good shape. There. I'm going to put that special screw on, and I'll be back. Okay, guys. So next up is I'm going to take and double check the timing on this. Just reset it, and then over here, the magnet's looking a little grungy. See right there? So I'm going to take some carb spray and put it on a paper towel. I'm going to clean that part up, and then I'm going to take and clean up underneath the coil or ignition module for all of the techie guys. This crap gets underneath of there. I've never seen just grease or whatever make it not work, but oh, you know what? I don't need to take this off, but guess what? Let's just say that you've decided that you've got one of these things and you need to go and replace that ignition coil. And it happens, of course, like anything, it happens. So I'm going to go like this, and I want you to see something. Since you're going to set it anyway, so I got to try to find a business card. Oh, I got some out in the truck. I'll go get it. There's two spacers back in here. And if you forget those, or you drop them, like when you're taking these off, it's not going to work right. Might not even work at all. Me in the picture? Yeah, hands are in the way though. You're kidding me. There goes the spacer. And they're just that easy to lose, you guys. You got to know to look for them, because they're made out of plastic, and Trust me. You're going to lose it. Take this. This is where they go. They go on the back side. Let me get you in the picture. They go on the back side of the coil. See that? Is that helpful? There's the spacer right there on my thumb. So one goes right there. One goes right there. So, and then by doing that paper towel on the carb spray, I just cleaned that up a little bit. So, all right, I'm going to put this back on. Here's the first one with the spacer. Making sure that I got that. And then for the top of the ignition piece, for the kill switch, there's this grounding plate. There's the spacer. It's got to go right up top here. Okay. And then there's the connection for the kill wire. So we're going to pull this out, get the screw started up in there, get it on the spacer, and get it in there. Don't forget that spacer, you guys. I get my wrench. When you're looking down on it, right behind there, there's the spacer right there. Sorry. And then here's that kill wire piece. It pretty much centers itself. Okay. And then hold the ignition coil up in the air, because you want that gap in there until you set the timing. I got to run out to my truck and get a business card, and we're going to set this thing. All right, I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, so there's a business card. And the only reason why we do that is because we're looking for basically a 10,000ths air gap that goes between this module and the magnets on the, what do you call it, on the flywheel. And then here's an interesting question. If you think you know, I'll tell you in a minute, but something to think about. This is the flywheel, guys. So, but it's not very big and it doesn't have any weight. So do you have any idea why that doesn't have that? I'm going to tell you here in a second. So anyways, we got this all cleaned up. There's magnets are looking good. This we pushed all the way up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. I'm going to slide that card in there and line up make sure that the magnets are down underneath both parts of the coil. Okay, and then all we're going to do is we're going to release these bolts. Did you hear that click? It just centered itself on there. Tighten it back up, and now it's set at 10,000ths. It's just that easy. Take the card out, you're done. I'm just trying to get some of this stuff out of here. Can't have any music playing. I don't monetize anyway, so you guys get all this stuff for free. I know that you get in trouble if you don't have permission to use somebody's music. So, anyways, lots of sand in here. Lots and lots of sand. So I'm just going to get the bulk of this off. This is the non-glamorous part. Maybe I can speed this part up for you. when it goes to editing, that is. I mean, alright, now I just got a little bit of gasoline left over from, what do you call it, when I emptied out the tank. So I'm just using that on a little sponge. Clean out these grooves. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect, you guys. It's not going to be new by any means, but I mean, heck, if we can make it look a little bit better, only takes a little bit of time. Sure, why not? Right? Why not? Alright, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of air. Okay, that's a little bit better. I'm going to give you guys a break, and I'm going to do the same thing basically. Set this up over here. I might show you when I'm spraying it, show you the difference, but I'm going to get the oil and everything off of here, make sure that the paint is going to stick and everything. And then you're going to spray these bad boys, and then we're going to start the reassembly. Okay. Okay, guys, so I've already kind of washed it up, and then it has that little 4-mix badging up here on the top that I kind of want to keep. So I just put a little painter's tape on there. That's close enough on that side. Nobody can see it. Looks like it's right about there. Take the tape off. Okay. I'm going to say that's good enough. You won't be able to see inside of there once the starter. Once the starter goes back in there. So it's basically we're just putting lipstick on a pig, you guys. So I'll take and I'll tape this off. I'm going to paint this black too, and I'll show you how I do that. But first, you have to move you outside, set you up. So we're gonna go paint this. Okay, get a good picture of like how crappy that bad boy looks right now. And I don't know if you can see, but like in here, there's little indents. You can't really see them. There you go. See the little dents that says like, you know, choke, half choke, and no choke. We're going to take and highlight those, probably like with a Sharpie or something, after we paint it orange so that they actually stick out. So, I'm going to move you outside and set you up. Okay, so you guys kind of get the picture of what's happening. Here, the camera shut off. I hope I'm not running out of space. Otherwise, this will have to be a two-parter. Yeah, maybe I'll end up doing that for the reassembly. What do you think? Yeah, why don't I do that? I can upload this, get rid of, free up a lot of space. It started with 15 gigs. Let's see. Alright, guys. Just gonna have to look for part 2, I guess. Alright.